Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Q2 release of our product. We're excited to share with you some additional changes that have been made from the Q2 releases that we've had. What I would like to note here is that there is a Q&A section right down at the bottom of your screen. Looks a little something like this. If you're not familiar with Zoom, you should be able to see this at the bottom of your screen. What we ask is that we have a lot of content to show. Please, if you do have a question, as you see the content, open up that Q&A, ask your question there. We will take breaks throughout the process here and make sure that we get those questions answered for you. Today, you're going to be hearing from our team in the product management group. Most of the people who will answer the Q&A questions are on the screen here. On top of that, you'll be seeing some great demos from these people. Andreas Berggren will be doing the platform demonstration. Malin and Ola will be doing the client demonstration. You'll hear from Lukasz on the marketplace, and then we'll even talk through some of the content done on the automations, which Lloyd is part of, and Ishrad is here to answer any questions you may have on the agent manager. So exciting content to talk through today. The breakdown of our schedule will look a little something like this. We're going to talk about Flow Connect first and foremost, mixed with the changes that have come in Flow Classic. Then we'll speak a little bit about the roadmap and the future items that are coming in the next quarter before opening it up for some questions and answers. So at this point in time, we'll try to break about for 5 minutes, answer any questions you may have from the content you've seen. And then we'll move into the marketplace content, and then we'll leave it open for maybe some questions and answers that it would have come from that previous content. For those who are new to this, we typically have some purposes for why we hold these quarterly updates. The most important is that we try to foster transparency. We want to give you full visibility into what we're building in RMD. This is sort of your opportunity to see how our development aligns with your needs, so you can understand the direction that we're taking from our product roadmap perspective. We really want to encourage collaboration. We think your feedback is critical, so we use these as opportunities for you to see what's being developed and provide us feedback if we've nailed it or if we've missed the mark. So please be sure to voice your opinion throughout the process. And also, we will talk a lot today about the items that have come in Q2. We will not go back to Q1. We will not go back into 2024. So for those of you who have missed our user conferences or our previous quarterly updates, we recommend that you catch up on these on our YouTube channel. Some of the links are here in the QR codes. If you want to scan those, you're welcome to go back, or you can just go to YouTube, search for Novacura, and you'll see a list of these recordings. On top of that, the one that we are in right now is being recorded, so we will be put up on the YouTube that you can look back at any point. But once again, today we will focus on what has come within Q2 and what we're releasing this quarter. With that said, I will turn it over to Malin and Ola to give a demo of what's been done in the clients on Flow Connect.
We would like to talk about what's been happening in Q2, as Paul said, for portal and clients. The way we will do that is, well, first a little bit of a recap maybe from Q1. Paul, you said we wouldn't, but I'm going to do a little bit of it anyway. In Q1, we showed you the first part of the offline feature where we preloaded local data down to the mobile client. And we showed you the new version of what was called the HTML portlet in Flow Classic, which is now called Custom Content. And based on your feedback, very much appreciated, we heard that the most important next step would be to do interactions for the custom content. So that is what we have done now in Q2. And we will also show you the sequel to the offline, where we sync work back also, so you can actually use it as an offline functionality. So the way it's going to go is I'm going to show you first custom content in the portal. That's again what's used to be called the HTML portlet. I'm going to click on a button in there that's going to take me to another portal page, navigate to other page. From there, I'm again going to use the custom content to start an app, which is going to send some data to my colleague Malin, who's going to run down to the warehouse in the basement without the Wi-Fi to do some tasks I assigned to her. She's going to come back up to reality, get online again, and upload that back to the server. And then we also have a FileSystem Connector that I will seize the opportunity to do a little demo as well. So that is coming up right now. Here I have the portal as promised. This is a custom content. And I, right now, am a warehouse manager. And my work is to sit and stare at this screen and make sure that everything is green. To my, well, uncomfortable feeling, I see that something is red here. And if it's red, it means it's below safety stock. So I need to put down my cup of coffee, and I'm going to click on this shelf here to see what is going on. That, as I said, took me over now to a different portal page. So I've been navigating by clicking a button in the custom content portlet. And as it indicated is correct, I only have 8 erasers. My safety stock is 15. Same thing for this 80 millimeter shaft. My safety stock is 15, and I only have 5. So we need to act here. I click on this, the erasers. Oops, I also sorted there. Sorry for that. There we go. I clicked on the erasers, and I want to create a count report. So now I clicked on this big button here, which is also a custom content, and I'm executing a workflow. Then we also needed the shaft. So I'll do the same thing for the shaft. And now something needs to happen. So I am hoping my colleague Malin would go in and take care of this inventory counting work.
Thank you very much, Ola. And I obviously run straight to the warehouse in order to make sure we have enough stock on the shelf. And to help me do the counting and replenishment, I got an Android device, and on the Android device, I have my app count report and replenish. And as Ola said, our warehouse is located far down in the basement, so we don't actually have any internet in there. So what I need to do first is to download local data in order to have access to the work orders I need to perform. So I go into local data, and I can download everything, or I can click on the specific app and I can download the items required for this app. And then I will run to the warehouse. And to simulate the lack of internet, I will go into flight mode. And I can now run the app. And as you can see, there are 2 work orders for me to act upon, the ones that Ola just created. So I click on the first one. And the first thing it asks me to do is to do a count report. So let's see, I can count, and yes, it's 8. And I click next, and then it asks me to move stock from bulk location. So I move 400 of them. And then I do the second task. And again, the quantity I need to count is as 5, but there's 6 in stock. But it's still below the safety stock. So I'll add another 250 in there. Okay. And now the app says I'm done. And if I now go back to local data, you can see I now have a second tab here called Sync Work. And if I click on that one, you can see the transactions that I just performed, but they're all gray. So that means they have yet to be uploaded to the server. So I run as quickly as I can up the stairs. And as I get upstairs, you can see I now have internet access and my tasks are uploaded, which means, Ola, when I hand over to you, you should have a very nice green dashboard to look at.
Very nice, very nice. Very nice. I think the only thing is I need to do some work again. That takes my energy away. All right, so just saw Malin came back. She nudged me that I got work to do. So the tasks here, I'll see what happens if I refresh. Oh, they're done. Very good work, Malin. So then I can relax, go back out here, and everything is green. So nice. But my work is not done yet. I also have some consignment stocks, which means that we have inventory at different locations. And they are a little bit quaint. They are not using a system to do inventory count. They do it using Excel. So I see here my consignment stock. I have 50 pens, I have 60 toners, and 70 Hydromax here. But I know it's now 10 minutes past 3 in Sweden, and I know that they do physical inventory counts at 3, so it's time to go and update it. And the way this works is that they are using Excel, or actually they're using Notepad to do their inventory count. And they went in and checked the pencils, not 50 pencils. There are 45 pencils. And how many toners? Well, they actually received some, so we have 62 now. And how many Hydromax? They've been going like butter in sunscreen, so we only have 55 left of those. And saving it. So that happened 10 minutes ago. And now I am in here in my consignment stock page. Again, I have a button. When I click this now, a workflow is going to execute. Right. All right. This is good. This is good for the demo. Right. Here we go. This is the way it should be. Good. Everything for the demo, right? All right, so as I said, I was in here. Now I click the custom content to read the CSV file. And my status before was 50, 60, and 70 in the file. Now is updated with 45, 62, and 55. Clicking next will update my data. So what we did here was going through the FileSystem Connector and use the workflow to import that CSV file. So in summary, what we showed you is the custom content interaction. We navigate to a portal page. That could also have been actually an external page, but now we did it to a portal page. And we showed you that you can also start an app from inside the custom content.
And we also showed you that Flow Connect with the new features are fully offline capable, because we added in Q1 the preloads part, and in Q2 we've been working on the async work.
And the FileSystem Connector, I showed you that it can't read an empty first line, but we do have support for unexpected added columns in the file, which is really nice if you've been working with it. I've been struggling a little bit with that when we have, say we pick up 20 files every night or something and read them, and if the system that's providing the files happens to add a column, the data gets skewed, and that doesn't happen anymore. So it's a little bit of an improvement there, I must say. Best thing to see how this works, we were talking a little bit if we should go in and show you how the setup is done, but it will be kind of tricky to follow along. So the best thing to try it out is just to learn is just to try it out for yourself, we feel. In the help section under reference, portal, portlets, and custom content, you will find more information about how to do interactions with the custom content portlet, or you can also scan that QR code that we present now on screen for easy access to it. And the same thing for the FileSystem Connector. And we have these in the help section because they are released. But Malin.
Yes, this is a screenshot of what the app I ran, what it looks like in the designer. And the thing that we added with the sync work is that it's now possible to have swim lanes in the designer area. And in the Connect world, we refer to them as main lane. That is the lane with the user step. So that is the interactive one, the one that the end users will see on the screen when they run the app. And we also have queue lanes, and they are non-interactive. And they include all the machine steps that were run when you saw that I went into the sync work screen. You could see that it uploaded. So those are the machine steps that are run when the transactions are uploaded. And the text that you could see on that screen also, that's configured in the crossing between the main lane and the queue lane. And for those of you familiar with the offline functionality in Classic, I think you recognize this yeah, because it looks very, very similar. And as Ola hinted, this is not yet released, but we plan to release it after the summer.
And speaking of after the summer, we will also have translations actually in Flow Connect, which will be a pretty huge improvement, I think, from how it used to be in Classic, where you needed to go into each user step and each element and do translation per language. Now this will be in something we, at least internally so far, reference to as Phrasebook, where we you can see it like storing variables instead, and you can go into one place and do all the translations. And you can also use the variables not only for translation, but say you want to have all the user buttons saying next, you want to change that to something, you can use this as a variable in there instead and just change in one place if you decide to change. This phrasebook is built on a standard when it comes to translations that is called ICU. And as far as we know, it's not a backronym. The U stands for Unicode, I just learned. So it's a real thing. You can Google ICU and translation if you are more interested in how that works. But it has some support for plurality and stuff like that as well. So we think this is going to be pretty nice to work with. It's also going to look, these images are a little bit first version kind of thing. That it will look better, and we will have support for export and import, that kind of stuff as well. All right, so with that, thank you very much. And I'm going to hand it over to Andreas, who I think have some pretty cool OData news for us.
So migrate OData workflows from Flow Classic. So just as a quick reminder, in Connect, the easiest way to communicate with IFS Cloud is by using FlowScript OData modules. OData modules can be automatically created with a Flow application. And during this quarter, we have worked on improving the import functionality for classic workflows that use the IFS OData connector. The new and improved import wizard has been moved from Windows Designer to the Flow Hub. The import wizard has been upgraded to support the migration of workflows that use the classic OData connector and turn them into OData modules. So I will now demo the new import wizard, and I have exported a workflow with a fragment from Classic. The import wizard is now available in the application library in Hub. And you start the wizard by clicking on the import button, top right. So first we select the file from Classic. We select the destination package. And IFS OData connectors in Classic will be mapped to REST connectors for IFS Cloud. And in the next steps, reactions used in the imported workflows can be mapped to FlowScript modules in Connect. They are automatically mapped to existing modules with the same name. And if we need to create missing modules, we can do so by copying the list of reactions and use as input in an application for creating new modules. So we run the batch create modules. We select the same organization, the same package, and we paste the list of projections. Optionally, we can also add some tags to the new modules. And we select to not update the existing modules, so only new modules or missing modules will be created. So the application will now check if we already have the projections created, and if not, it will connect to IFS, fetch the projection information, and create a new module inside the hub. So we can see that The 2 modules were created and the other ones already exist. So going back to the wizard, we can now refresh the modules and everything is mapped. So let's import the application and we'll open up the package. And important items are set in an error state, so we'll open them up in the designer to verify. And we can see that the references to the modules are automatically added. Then let's open the component. And same thing here, the module references are added. And there are no errors in this component, so let's commit a new version. Then go back to the application and refresh the component. And also let's take a look at a machine step migrated to a script step that uses the module, and we have the query for fetching the data from IFS Cloud. And then we have a small flow script to fix, and that is because of the proper null handling that we have in Connect. We need to do a small adjustment. Now everything is okay, and we can run the application in the client. In this application, we can either enter a part number or select from a list. So let's show the list of parts. And we'll select one part. And we fetch the inventory locations for that part. Just a small little app from the marketplace. And let's quickly take a look at the trace log. And we can see that the query was translated into an OData request. We have the filtering part, we have the select in this case. And if we refresh the package, we can see that everything is okay, no errors. So the application is properly imported. So the new and improved import wizard is available in the hub, and workflows using the classic OData connector can now be imported and properly migrated to use FlowScript OData modules. OData connectors can be mapped to REST connectors, and preactions can be mapped to modules. And in Q3, we will continue with a similar solution for migrating Infor M3 REST API steps into script steps using modules, similar way. Thank you. And with that, back to Paul.
I always get excited seeing the use of the modules and the script steps because it makes me think of the FlowScript Copilot and the power that that's going to bring when you're able to just chat with a little Copilot to build out those scripts in the future, right? So no more need to know what to script. The tool will do it for you. That gets me pretty excited. Nice job.
Yeah.
Okay. So what everyone showed was just a subset of the features that we've delivered in Q2 for Flow Connect. The features presented in front of you here are also towards the progress that we had on Flow Connect this quarter. So beyond the demo, please make sure that you look at these new capabilities in details by visiting our logs at docs.novacura.com. Just a friendly reminder as well, that the Q&A is open here. I do see we have a few questions coming in, but if you have questions on anything that you're seeing in this demo, please do ask them in the Q&A chat and we will be sure to answer them. I have a few more items I'd like to talk through here in Flow Connect that will be delivered, one of which is the automation analytics. Automation analytics are actually going to allow you to track every run of an automation. For those who are new to this, automation is our new term for machine workflows. So server-side non-user elements will be called automations. So here you're actually able to, in the future, see each automation that was ran, when we ran it, and how it was triggered, whether that was via a webhook or some scheduled job. But more importantly, the outcome of each of those runs. It's a quick and easy, immediate health check to the success or failure of an individual automation. So really nice view. I think this has been requested in Flow Classic. A few of our customers have found nice ways to do this using log steps and other components inside of Flow Classic, but now presented in a really nice manner in the hub. On top of that, you can zoom into an individual automation run and dive into each step of the automation to understand what's happened under the hood. You could see things like duration, the type, and even get maybe bottleneck clarity to see exactly how long each step took, whether it was sort of a script step or a system task in essence, and pinpoint failures within that flow fast. I think in general here, you're able to identify the specific steps failed, why it failed, and how long it took to possibly fail. Did it time out, for example? On top of that, we have recently released a new connector agent. So those who are again new to Flow Connect, connector agent is our capability to communicate with external systems. We've done quite a big change here in our recent update to version 0.540. If you are running an agent today, I strongly suggest updating. A few of the improved functionality comes to the IFS Cloud customers with additional support for e-tag capabilities. Our REST connector now supports scripting with multi-part content, and we also have a faster caching of the authorization token. So what that means, access token. So what that means for you is a little bit faster communication, actually. So if you're using it today, I would strongly suggest updating the client, and I'm sure in your dev environments to IFS Cloud, you'll see quicker communications if you're using client credentials. On top of that, we have added some new operations to the FileSystem Connector. Those are to be able to read text, read lines, and even read binary now. And we do support UNC paths within that connector agent, which has been a request from some of our customers. So listening to your feedback, we really appreciate it. And we've made some changes. So please update now and use some of those features, which you can find in our documentation. In Flow Classic, we've made some adjustments this quarter. The first one here is that we are now supporting, we are not using full-blown paths within the custom operations for the IFS OData connector. Here, we now support relative paths. And actually, this helps us be able to subscribe workflows using IFS OData from one environment to another. So if you are using custom operations, make sure you take a look at this update. It will actually allow you to continue to use the subscribed workflows and not have to write in a path into the connector itself, or connector machine step. Also, if you've looked at some of our release notes that have come out, I think a really important topic is the retirement of basic auth inside of the SMTP connector. So today, for those of you using the email connector and connecting to Office 365 through that, it is important to note that as of March 1st of next year, they will be degrading this capability. So we will not be able to authenticate any longer via basic authentication. What does that mean for you as a customer? I put a couple steps here. My suggestion would be scan this QR code or look back at our release notes. There are a couple options for you to look at, both of which have been tested by us internally. One option is if you're using those emails internally, you can actually use what they call a high volume email account. If you are using those externally, you can use what they refer to as an Azure Communication Service. And I should have said the Azure Communication Service will actually work internally and externally. So for those of you using it as a in both regards, you're able to switch over to that service. And all you need to do is put the new client secret into your connector configuration, and it will work as it works today without the password, obviously. Once again, this is on our documentation. If you take a look at it and also scan this little QR code down here, and you'll go direct to the Microsoft documentation, which will walk you through a step-by-step guide on how to set up either of those services. Last but not least, we also have updated our portal application. Here, a majority of our updates in 2025.2 were for the document viewer application. So if you are using document viewer, I would strongly suggest updating and take a look at some of our increased capabilities here. So once again, only a subset of what was been released this quarter. We have done some integration engine releases as well. There's been some additional changes for nested properties inside of our AD sync capabilities. If you are not familiar with what we've released, please go to docs.novacura.com, and under the Flow Classic track, you can go to our release logs and find all of the changes that have happened from the entire quarter. So let's talk a little bit about roadmap and what comes next quarter. Today, we're pretty focused on still getting to be in a similar fashion to Flow Connect. We have quite a few items that have been released at this point now. Automations, we've talked about the preload. What comes in Q3 is that async functionality Malin discussed. We'll actually be able to publish translations into the portal as well, which I'll show here in a second. We are working on SCIM, which is exciting for those customers who use our AD sync functionality, and the map portlet is coming to Flow Connect. On top of that, we are prioritizing the HTML to PDF connector, and we are going to be working on some AI agents within our tool set, which is a new area for Novacura Flow. I have a few screen caps to come up, but please recognize that Q3 is focused on this global expansion of translations, and then our goal afterwards is to start to work on a new way to flow, where we're going to start to see new user step controls. We'll work on some of the connectors that are still missing from Flow Connect, but also work on rounding out our capabilities in navigation items within the client. So a lot of requests from our customers on making the UI more user-friendly to mobile app development. And I think that's what we're hearing from the most part, and trying to move ourselves in that direction in Flow Connect. So like we do each quarter, we have a few concepts that we're showing here. What we ask is that if you have feedback for us or would like to be part of the discussions of what you're seeing, feel free to scan this QR code and vote on the ideas in our ideas.novacura.com forum. That'll help us understand that you would like to be contacted, and we will ultimately touch base with you in hopes of getting your feedback on features that we may be delivering here. The first AI item that we're working on, though, this quarter is going to be a Flow Connect Copilot. So we focused on FlowScript initially in these copilots because we recognized that that was the hardest thing to come on board to Novacura Flow Connect, and we wanted to be easy, make that an easy transition. Now what we're going to focus on is a Flow Connect Copilot. Here, this will be a general helper for built into the hub to be able to support your journey of onboarding to Flow Connect. In what we've seen thus far for customers coming on board, they need a little help navigating, finding out where new things are. How do I publish my first automation, for example? Here, they may not want to go to the help documentation and see it, so we want to be able to do a copilot to help support customers with real-time answers without leaving the platform. Our AI agent is going to turn raw data into clear insights. The goal here is to be able to automate trend analysis, correlations, and even summaries without really any manual work. Generally speaking, we want to make AI a feature that you can use in the product in runtime more efficient and effective. So today, these capabilities are sort of baked into the product if you know how to use tools like ChatGPT and how to use the REST connector to talk to ChatGPT and set up an app service to communicate with it. What we're trying to do is make that a bit more expedited for our customers, easy to use within an AI agent. We will also be focused on SCIM support. So Flow Connect this quarter will enable automated user provisioning and deprovisioning, ideally streamlining the identity management processes through other systems. Here we'll focus initially on Azure because that's what most of our customers use. But all of this will be a little bit different than the way AD Sync worked in Classic. If you don't know, SCIM is a standard protocol that can communicate across systems. And what we do is allow Azure to communicate with us to be able to provision users in Novacura Flow. So please expect this in the next quarter. We are also working on a new map portlet to be able to display visual data, geographic visual data. Flow Connect will support full translation capabilities at the end of the quarter, making it easier to deliver localized user experiences across global teams. Here, we will bring translations, what Ola was showing today, from the clients to the portal. And this is just a small screen cap of what it may look like in the next quarter and how to utilize those translations inside of a portal or portlet. We will also bring automation transformations from our integration engine over into Flow Connect. Automation transformations give developers the ability to like translate complex inbound data into streamlined outputs. It really uses AI to do this as well. So to map, reshape, and simplify data structures effortlessly. In this screen cap, what you see is the output of maybe a webhook that would come into our system, and then ultimately the output of what we would want to see going into the workflow. And we'll have the ability to make these complex data structures quickly translatable inside of the hub. And last but not least, the HTML to PDF connector will obviously come into Flow Connect. This is one of our most widely used connectors today to help generating reports, invoices, and forms on the fly. And our goal will be to bring this into Flow Connect in the quarter so that we can start to transfer over the customers who are on Flow Classic using this connector to Flow Connect. Now, I should also mention that we do have customers today that are on Flow Connect which have used the HTML to PDF connector in Classic. For those cases, we've been able to use third-party services to do the same functionality that we have baked into the HTML to PDF connector. So if you are one of those customers who are interested in Connect but do use this connector, it doesn't mean that we can't get you over to Flow Connect. It just means that the connector is not there as of yet. And a friendly reminder is just to go to ideas.novacura.com and please provide your feedback on all of the features, as well as the ones that maybe you haven't seen here that you would like to see in the product. This is our place for you to communicate with our product management team. Okay, with that said, I will turn it over to Ishrad. I think we have some questions waiting that we can get answered.
Yes, thank you, Paul. I think we will straight away get to the questions. We have a few to get through. So first question is regarding the offline data upload or the sync work functionality. What happens when the transaction fails? Does it behave the same way as in Classic? Then this question is for Malin.
Yes, it will behave very much in a similar manner. It will be stuck in error, and the transactions in that session will stop with the error. So anything above can be uploaded, anything below will be waiting. And the options that you will have is to either retry or to cancel. And cancel, we just skip that particular item and we'll continue to the next one.
Cool. So the second question is actually related to the offline functionality again. Maybe you can take it, Malin. are there any plans to improve or extend the offline functionality?
Yes, we've been talking a lot about, especially with the error handling. As I said, at the moment we will have two options that you either retry or to cancel. But we have been discussing adding a third option that would then be designer configurable. So if you imagine that there could be a button that's called modify, and clicking that button would start a component or an app where you can have user steps. So the user could, let's say, fix the error straight away if they can see what the error is. It could be that they send off an email to the help desk to say this transaction has been stuck in error. I will skip it, but can you please fix it when you have time? Yeah, those kind of things are being discussed to extend on the functionality.
Yes, thank you, Malin, for the answers. I think we have a couple of more questions on automations. Will there be some equivalent to schedule flows? Lloyd, I think you can take this question.
Yep. Sorry. So currently we have scheduled workflows in Connector already as part of the automation solution. So when you create an automation, you will have the option to just select a schedule as required. There's multiple options for the schedule, and we did demo it in the previous quarter demo. So yeah, we already have that functionality available.
Yeah, I'd also offer up here that we have more advanced capabilities than we had inside of Classic if you go rewatch that demonstration. So we now support
Absolutely.
cron, which allows us to do more dynamic scheduling than we were capable of inside of Flow Classic. So a lot of good use cases out there. Cron is a pretty standard protocol. You can just, chat GPT my cron expression to run an automation this period, and it'll ultimately give back a really nice format for you. So strongly suggest you watch the demo from last quarter.
And also just to mention, as Paul has demoed in this one, we have the run history now, which is a massive improvement on Classic. So you can actually see the progress of your scheduled operations, scheduled workflows, sorry, called automations, and look for errors and help you resolve problems.
Yes, I think there's another question in the related area, Lloyd. Maybe you can take it as well. What happens when automation fails, be it scheduled or run it on demand? What are the options you have when it fails?
Right now, you can, I mean, it depends on the design of the application. At the moment, you'll see the failure in your run history. In the future, we would like to add some notifications into that in the observability component or analytics component inside of the hub. But for now, we just have the ability to review all your errors and things like that in the run history. Yeah.
Is the future thinking there, Lloyd, that we're going to be able to rerun an execution from the beginning as well, maybe?
Absolutely. So that's something we're working on in this coming quarter, along with other things. We hopefully have the ability to reprocess or retry failed executions. You can also, we're going to add the functionality to execute automations from the hub as well, to run them once effectively manually. So you don't need to set a schedule just to try if an automation you've just created. You can be able to run it in the hub.
Very nice.
Yes, thank you, Lloyd. The next question is about the IFS OData modules. So how do we get access to the app that you showed, Andreas, in the demo that generates IFS OData modules?
Yeah, so what we have done is that we have created a set of flow application for managing modules in IFS Cloud that we typically share with new organizations created in Connect. But reach out to us if these applications are missing in your organization and you need them for IFS Cloud.
Yep, thank you.
There's another one, Ishrad. Have you looked at this one? It says, is there a way to cache email, user ID, and password in the Windows web client? Sounds like, sorry, just making sure I understand this one because I don't from that first message. It says, so users don't have to enter passwords each time they want to start an application or reboot a PC. Not sure I understand that one, honestly. Maybe we could follow up and understand that a little bit. Curious if anyone does. Does that make sense to anyone? But
No, I think I have the same question as you. Like,
as I read
proceeds?
it, Naren, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I would have the web client open and I will close the browser or reboot the PC to automatically log me in. And I think the answer to that is if you would use, well, yeah, no, maybe Ishrad, do you have an answer? So the thing is, if you reboot the PC, would you be able to automatically log back in?
If it is about logging into Flow, I think no, we don't store passwords, right, in the client. So you will probably the web client will store your email, so you don't have to enter your email again, but you'll have to enter the password. But I'm
I
not
think
sure
so
if it
too,
is
yeah.
about the client or is it about any connectors. Maybe
I said
that's where we.
no.
The
It
client,
says that
yeah.
It's
says
a
that's
client,
correct
right?
in the
Yeah.
clients. Yep. So
Right.
interesting. Yeah, no, I think typically we go through the standard identity protocols, right? So, my suggestion here, Naren, would be that, like for me, when I log into Flow Connect, mine does autofills, but we use a system called Keeper to store that password, right? Some password manager, and then I tell it to autofill those fields. So what I mean by that is, I'll log in. When I click the login with Microsoft, because we use MFA to get into the system, then what happens is a pop-up will show up and say, select a user, and I select paul.phillips at novacura.com. And then what happens right immediately after is it says, give me your password, but I have Keeper set up to auto put in that password as a password manager system. But then that said, if the MFA has expired for my organization, because we do use MFA in Novacura, then I get a pop up that says, please provide the value or the key that you could put into the system. So that's the way we've managed it, at least within the client. So that's just a browser add-on in essence.
And do you want to explain MFA, Paul?
Oh, multi-factor authentication. Sorry for those who don't use that one in Azure. Thank you. It just means that I have to prove who I am on top of the password for those who don't use MFA, right? Additional security, like, yeah.
Okay, I think we should get back to the presentations, Paul. There are a few more questions, but probably we'll switch to Lukasz for Marketplace.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Hello, everyone. I'm Lukasz Majer from Business Applications. I'm responsible for our marketplace and all applications we deliver for the marketplace. And let me show my screen. I hope you can see it now. So for my today's presentation, I prepared 3 elements, as it's stated here in the little agenda. First, I would like to focus on the apps we developed in Q2. Then I'm going to a bit unhide the upcoming applications, the major ones. And in the second part of my presentation, in the last part, I would like to show the fully new marketplace platform, the platform that you will soon use as marketplace customers to download your applications, to search for relevant applications, and so on. So this is a fully new tool that will supplement our offer in the marketplace area. So let's start with applications that we developed in Q2 2025. First, I would like to focus on the apps we converted to Flow Connect. As you know, for many years, we've been developing applications for Flow Classic, and now we are still in a phase where we have to port them all to Flow Connect. This migration is not that hard nowadays. I would say it's quite nice to migrate application from Flow Classic to Flow Connect, but we still need to change some elements in this application, and we need to test them and make sure they work properly in Flow Connect. And we lastly migrated Shoplo reporting application package, and it looks like one icon here, but you should understand that underneath this one application package, we have 14 mobile applications, and in addition, we have almost 30 workflows that support the portal solution. And to show you the final results, I would like to show you the before and after comparison. So this is the historical shop floor reporting application. This is the portal page created in Flow Classic. And this is their successor. So as you can see, it not only looks nicer, more elegant, but it's also kind of cleaner design, and it's reorganized. We didn't only port it to new technology, we also took the opportunity to redesign the UI and make sure that the usability is slightly improved during this upgrade to Flow Connect. Next, I would like to show you a couple of examples that we ported from Flow Classic to Flow Connect. These are the ones that I lastly presented during the last quarterly update that we just developed for the marketplace. So 3 examples showing how to play with ChatGPT from within Flow applications. Now they are available for Flow Connect. And in addition, we also ported the CSV management examples to Flow Connect. What's maybe more important is the new items we created in this quarter. Again, shop floor reporting application, this package was the most time-consuming item, but in parallel, we were able to deliver new applications. These 2 on the top are to support the administration area. As you can see, it's submit absences and manage absence requests, very relevant for this period because we are approaching the summer period, so probably last minute to download these apps. But we also don't stop with developing applications for Infor-M3, and we constantly focus on the supply chain area, and we lastly developed 4 fully new applications for Infor-M3. They are available for Infor-M3 Cloud Suite and also for the conventional on-prem Infor-M3 for those customers who use IO and Facade for API. So they support both Infor versions. We also created a bunch of new examples. We developed them for 2 Flow versions in parallel for Flow Connect and for Flow Classic. The first one is HubSpot integration. For those of you who use HubSpot as the CRM, it helps you synchronize data like customers and maybe deals between IFS and HubSpot. But we also created a bunch of applications showing you how to deal with documents and media in IFS Cloud. This is based on your feedback. We received feedback from our customers that it's not easy to play with these elements in IFS Cloud. Therefore, we developed 4 examples for Flow Classic and Flow Connect that show how to access and how to upload documents to IFS Cloud. And we will soon also deliver the versions of these applications for IFS applications. And lastly, it's not ready yet, but soon after this presentation, we are going to publish the tutorials. Just to remind you, tutorials, the concept of tutorials were announced by me during the last quarterly news webinar. These are specific examples that show you how to utilize the lately delivered capabilities of our Novacura Flow Connect platform. So as presented today, we presented the new FileSystem connectors, and you will have your tutorial showing how to deal with this connector available on the marketplace. We are not there yet. We still need to deliver this, but this will come pretty soon. So this was what we have delivered. Now about the upcoming applications. And I only want to focus on 2 the major applications we plan to deliver, and they are in a quite advanced phase of development. First is a fully functional application package to support supplier invoice automation and invoices processing. So this application retrieves invoices from the connected mailbox and helps you attribute them and helps you book them and pass it to IFS in that case. And as you can see, this is the real application page. So it's not something that we plan to develop. It's something that we are actually actively working on. And the second application we are going to deliver in the next quarter is the application for time reporting for regular employees. And again, this is a real screenshot, so we are actively working on it. Let's move forward to my favorite section. This is the new marketplace platform. So yeah, I would like to first start with the current marketplace solution. Those of you who use marketplace, you're most likely familiar with the screen. This is our marketplace novacura.com portal where all customers can log in and see all the available application. The problem is that it's not easy to find a relevant application here. This solution doesn't filter the applications that are only relevant for you. So if by chance you're the Infor M3 based customer, you will still see all the applications for all IFS versions, and you'll be disrupted by that. And of course, when it comes to downloading the application, the process, it's not easy. For Flow Classic, you receive these applications via email. And for Flow Connect, you receive it by asking the marketplace team, my team, to grant you access in Flow Connect. So this process is very manual currently. And with all these drawbacks, we came to the conclusion that we must change it. And we are now finalizing the new solution, the replacement. So let me quickly present you that. I think I have 3 minutes, so I'll try to be quite fast. So this new platform will be divided into 2 separate elements. What you're seeing right now is the public portal. This is the replacement of the previously shown portal. This will be available for all the potential customers, not only those who purchase the marketplace access. And as you can see, it offers way better filtering. It's way more affordable. And it also presents the information in a much better way, so you can quickly see if this application is for your ERP or not. And as you can also see here, this presents this fully functional application packages in a more vivid way. So you can easily differentiate small little examples from big application packages. So this is the transactional part. This is what you would see when you have marketplace access. And this is something that shows you all the applications available on the marketplace. But what's interesting here, you see your organization contact. Let's imagine this is your company name, and you see the default settings here. So this organization uses application 10, IFS application 10, and you as an organization use both Flow version Classic and Connect. Therefore, this list will show you only applications for IFS 10, so only relevant applications for you. What is also interesting that you can override the settings here, and you can see some other applications. And as you would see now, you see a lot of other applications among those that match your organization settings. But what's interesting here, you can quickly filter and see only those that are here to support shop floor operations. And you can also see if these applications are included in your plan or maybe not. So I'm going to show you how quickly you can download a particular application. Let's click on this one. You see all the details, and I can quickly click Get an App. A workflow starts. It could take a bit longer because I had to, sorry, that's why we don't deliver it to the market, not yet. But you should believe me, it's probably due to the missing configuration. Let's test with this one then. I'm afraid the time is running really fast. I hope this will end with, yeah. So you get access to all the files prepared for this particular application. So you no longer have to wait for the email. And for Flow Classic, what is super interesting here is that, for Flow Connect, when you click on Get App, it will immediately enable this application in your organization in Flow Connect. So you will no longer have to contact our marketplace team. Last thing I would like to show here, and then I will hand over to Paul Phillips for the summary, is the AI-powered search. capability. So let's assume I need an app to add items to the handling unit, and we use IFS Cloud. That's my prompt. Keep in mind, we have over 200 applications on the marketplace, so it's not so easy to find a relevant application. And this is the result I received. I was playing with real AI service, and it found very relevant application that matches my queries. So you can now click on that one and click get the app, and you will get it in your environment. That's all from my side. Sorry for taking a bit too much time. Paul, I'm now redirecting to you.
Thanks, Lukasz. Just one question in the chat that it will answer. I know we're running right up on time, but the question was, what URL do you access the marketplace on? And the statement was made that the marketplace is the one that they have access to works. It looks a little different. Do you want to comment to that, Lukasz? Okay, I will comment to Lukasz's demonstration. So for you, the website that Lukasz was showing has not yet been released yet. It is coming. The marketplace web view that is the web shop will be coming as well relatively soon. So that is in its testing phase, and you will all, for those who are subscribed to the marketplace, I'm sure Lukasz will be communicating how you'll get access to that in the near future.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to add that I responded to your question, and now I realized that I was muted. So sorry for that, but let's not prolong the webinar.
So thank you again for joining us today. I think generally speaking, these meetings, we get us excited. I hope they get you excited to continue to sort of build a better, faster, maybe even smarter solution inside of Flow. So I want to use the time as a reminder to everyone here that your feedback really helps us shape this product. So we need it. We don't just want it, we need it. So please continue to stay connected with us. Use the ideas forum, communicate with our product managers and product owners that you know. If you'd like more access to a product manager, let me know, and I will find one that can communicate back and forth. And then, let's continue to develop Flow better together. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll talk to you next quarter.